Tim, good morning.
Good morning, Dave.
I appreciate you taking the time to have some conversation with me.
Yeah.
I know that missions is something that you and I both are very interested in with our experiences in the past.
We both made a significant investment of our lives in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know that recently you were involved in a mission trip to Chile.
Mm-hmm.
And would you tell us a little bit about what you've done?
Gladly. I was invited to go along with First Baptist Church of Woodway, and we extended that invitation to other pastors in the area with the intention of maybe having this as the initial effort of our new networking and missions initiative within the WRBA, the association. Our association did a strategic plan last July, and in that identified that we have a few churches involved in missions beyond the McLennan County area, but not many. And that those few churches are doing a good job. They're really connected in a strong way, doing some vibrant and good missions work. And so the initiative basically states, let's identify those churches and what they're doing, and where other churches in the association could get involved in those initiatives or in those projects. So we'll have multiple places where our churches are doing missions. And basically our job as an association is to help raise the awareness, cast the vision, and then to connect churches together so that they can work together in a common mission endeavor beyond the borders of McLennan County. So I went with First Baptist Church of Woodway, which has been going down to Chile for, I believe, 6 years. But last year when they went, they happened to go the week after the earthquake. They had that 9.9 magnitude.
Reading and seeing about.
I'm sorry, 8.9 magnitude earthquake. That was just slightly less intense than the one that just hit Japan. They had a tsunami that came through, destroyed many of the little communities out there. Most of the churches in that region were devastated. Not only did the members lose their jobs, their homes, many loved ones, but also their church buildings were wrecked. So they were just condemned and had no place to meet. And so I went with them in an effort to survey those churches that are still struggling to recover and to bring back hopefully the images, the stories, the needs, and the details of those churches so that we can enlist other churches here in the association to join that effort to help rebuild those churches in southern Chile. We identified 14 churches that still need some significant help, and Woodway has already stepped up and has made agreements to work directly with 4 of those churches. And so Barry Camp, also pastor of Highland Baptist Church, went with me, and he came back committed to try to ask his church, Highland Baptist Church, to adopt one of those churches there and to help them to get back into a facility that they can actually meet in. Most of these churches are having to rent space or meet in unsafe spaces, actually spaces that have been condemned by the city authorities. And yet, without an alternative, they continue to go in those buildings, even though the concrete slabs are held up by some 2x4s and really rickety. So we were really convinced that this was a great opportunity for some churches to step up.
So 14 churches that need someone to partner with them, and you have now perhaps a commitment for 5 of those?
Actually, yeah. Woodway has already helped 1 rebuild, is in the process helping the 2nd, and they've made agreements with 2 more, so that's 4. We hope that Highland will go ahead and adopt one of the churches. And I just got an email yesterday from the pastor of Shiloh Baptist Church in Crawford. It's a relatively small country church, one of our rural congregations. They have laid out the challenge to their congregation that if they would raise $6,000 in an offering, that the church would match that out of their missions fund and they would send $12,000, which is what one of the churches was needing in order to help that specific church build some bathrooms and be able to go in and use their facilities.
What a wonderful example of how any church that gets the vision can make a significant difference.
Yeah. The needs vary from church to church throughout that region. Some of them need just some money to help kind of buy materials because they have laborers who know how to build. Others need some volunteer teams that would go down and help them actually erect their structure or to demolish and then rebuild. And the needs financially vary from between probably 12 or 15,000 up to about 50,000. And our hope is not that we'll go in and do everything for them. We know that they're capable, and they are indeed working very hard to recover themselves. But in such a situation where you have 25% unemployment in many of these communities, the tithes and offerings of these churches is down. They're having to pay rent for their facilities. They're struggling. They're just struggling, and a little bit of help at this point would really be strategic to help get them up over the hump and into ministry.
Well, it's encouraging to hear that several of these are already adopted, but it sounds like there is still opportunity for a number of others to be adopted. What would a church do? What would their procedure be if they say, that sounds like something we'd like to explore? What would their steps be, Tim?
I think first they just contact us and here at the association office, and we can send them some emails, some photos, some more information about the specific churches and their specific needs, and then just begin that conversation back and forth with the leaders of the Chile Baptist Convention. They're the ones who are really our intermediaries. They helped us identify the churches that really could use this help, and they're the ones who also oversee the use of the funds that are sent so that we have high assurance that the funds will be spent in the best way possible. And so I would just say let's start the conversation and find the church that would best fit or best suit the gifts and what a church here in the Waco area has to offer.
Well, Tim, thank you for that open invitation to start the conversation.
Yeah, I hope we get some calls.
We'll hope we'll get many to respond.
Yeah.
Thank you.